Hey, what's up everyone, it's me Jordan and welcome to another video, and today we're going to be talking about game sales. Now, the last few months of 2016 were probably one of the busiest years for games that I've ever known. Like, there were so many games from like October to about December. There was like 15 big releases. I want to talk about it because a lot of these games haven't actually sold as well as either their predecessors or just as expected. And I'm going to talk about them today because I think it's important, and I might actually come to the end of this conclusion that games need to slow down on releasing during like the Christmas period. Now, it's quite a popular thing for the gaming industry to release games in October, November to get in on some Christmas sales. However, because of the sheer magnitude of games that have come out in the past 2 months, these games haven't sold as well as expected. Now, what I want to quickly mention here is that during my research, I found out that a lot of the gaming news websites, IGN, GameSpot, Polygon, Games Radar, all those guys, they're all saying different things about like the same topic. Like some are saying that there are more sales than others. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take the advice of the ones who've had the lowest number on their articles because I think, to be honest, it's well known that developers and publishers love bragging on like their Twitter and social media and stuff like that when their game sells well. Whereas when their game doesn't sell as well, they try and hide it. I could give an example of like Microsoft. Like they have been very quiet since the Xbox One released on how well it sold. Whereas if you look at Sony, since the PS4 came out, they've been consistently updating us with how well it's been doing. So developers love bragging about how well their game sells, but if it doesn't sell as well, they're quite quiet. So I'm going to be taking the lowest numbers I could find, and I'm going to take that as my video. So if you do hear things that you've heard differently, that's why. So the first game I'm going to talk about is actually the one that set the bar for this video, to be honest. Titanfall 2. EA decided to release Titanfall 2 in between Battlefield 1 and Call of Duty Infinite Warfare. Whatever you think of those two franchises, they are the most popular shooters currently, like in this current generation right now. And for EA to release Titanfall 2 in between them, like after Battlefield 1 came out and before Call of Duty came out, that was a really rookie mistake, to be honest with you, because I think Titanfall 2 is a fantastic game, but like it or not, Call of Duty is always going to sell well. Titanfall 2 sold only 50% of what the first game sold, which is a massive, massive disappointment because I think Titanfall 2 is a fantastic game. It's a great game. The only thing I can always think of is that Titanfall 1 released in March, which is like a quieter time of the year, but it's fair to say that Titanfall 2 was actually the game people wanted from the first one, so there was no reason for it to not sell as well as the first one, but because of the release date, that's a massive reason why. Gears of War 4. Gears of War 4 did okay. It sold, I think, 600,000 copies in the first 2 weeks, I think. But if you compare it to Gears of War or any of the other Gears of War games, it didn't sell as well. I just thought I'd mention that because Gears of War 4 was a massive expectation for the Xbox One because Xbox One was kind of lacking in games. So for Gears of War 4 to come along and not quite sell as well as the previous ones, it's a little bit of a disappointment. Dishonored 2, 38% down from the original Dishonored. Watch Dogs 2, 80% down from the original. The Last Guardian, which was probably one of the most hyped games on the PlayStation 4, on its first week it was only number 7 on the UK charts on its launch week, and apparently, as far as I can tell, it only sold about 108,000 copies in Japan. Now, I'm going to talk about Battlefield and Call of Duty quickly because I said I would come back to them. Battlefield 1, in its first week, sold better than Battlefield 4 and Battlefield Hardline's first week combined. So, Battlefield 1 was considered a success. However, Call of Duty still outsold it, at least on console. As far as I can tell, on PC, Battlefield decimated Call of Duty. And the latest I found on Infinite Warfare PC was there's only around 2,000 players on every day. Now, I've got a little bit on screen showing you exactly the numbers. I can't remember the numbers because I don't have them with them, but you'll see that Call of Duty is outselling Battlefield on both consoles. But compare that to the previous Call of Duty, Black Ops 3. Black Ops 3 sold around 25 million, and for Infinite Warfare to go all the way down to 8 million, So those are the games that came out during the end of the year. So let's now talk about the games that came out like at the quieter times of the year. So we'll go down the list. Uncharted 4, 8 million copies. That's a massive, massive success for a PS4 exclusive. Overwatch, 20 million copies in 5 months. Doom, I can't actually find the console figures for this, but what I could find was that Doom sold around 500,000 copies on PC alone in the first month. And The Division, which, as far as I can tell, at least from the research I've done, I've been on multiple websites, The Division was the best selling new IP of all time. As far as we know, actually, it is Ubisoft's best selling game currently. So when you look at those games that have come out in the past 2 months, and look at the games that came out during the quieter times of the year, when you look at that massive difference, it shows that releasing games near towards the end of the year to get some Christmas sales isn't exactly the best idea. And even then, a lot of these games that came out, the ones I mentioned that sold well during the quieter time of the year, still get Christmas sales. But I suppose these gaming industries fear that those games will be quite irrelevant by then. So I hope that these developers and publishers look at this and hope to take a lesson from it, because it's very important. That I think it's very a shame that some of those games that I've mentioned that didn't sell as well are great games. I think are fantastic games. They deserve a higher population of players, but unfortunately, because of the amount of games there have been, it's not been easy to sell that many copies. One development team and publishers that have actually been careful about when they release it is Rockstar. Rockstar in the past, GTA 5 came out in September, Grand Theft Auto 4 came out in April, and Red Dead Redemption was released in May. Red Dead Redemption sold about 14 million copies. GTA 4 was the best selling game on its current generation at the time when it was released. GTA 5 comes out and it's the best selling game on the current generation currently. Thinking about it, knowing that it's Rockstar, I'm not thinking that Red Dead Redemption 2 that we heard about like 2 months ago or something, like it's set to come out at fall 2017. My best guess actually it's going to get pushed back. I think it's going to go like early 2018, because knowing Rockstar, they don't release those games during like, October, November time. Don't take that into consideration, but that's just my thought. I just thought maybe these guys need to look at this after 2016 and just look at it and see maybe what they should do the next time they release something like this. EA releasing Titanfall 2 between BF and COD, honestly, that kind of just put the icing on the cake for me. When I heard about that, I was just like, what were they thinking? Like, they can make the case for themselves, saying that, oh, we thought it would cut sales, but they need to realistically think about it. No matter how good they think their game is, it's not what's going to appeal to the average first-person shooter when they've got those three games to choose from. So to come to the conclusion, like I said, I don't necessarily think games should just stop releasing during the Christmas period, but I do think that these developers need to look at these things beforehand. I mean, it's hard. Like, most of these games have release dates set well before the game comes out, so they're going to be unaware of what else is going to be there when it does come out. But they do need to look at these things, and to be honest, I wouldn't care if a game got delayed at like 2 months. It says to me that obviously they're trying to make sure that they're not ready to release it. But then again, I just think it's really important that games are just sold at the right time to get the sales that they want. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Leave comments, leave likes, leave dislikes, whatever. I'll see you guys all again soon. Take care of yourselves. I'll see you guys soon. Bye.